So hello everyone, we are from group 5. We're gonna present about the element of research design. The member of our team there is me, Zawanura Aziza, Elifidi Aldrey, and Muhammad Yuki Virus. So research design is a blueprint or plan for the collection, measurement, and analysis of data created to answer your research question. The quality of a research design depends on how carefully you choose the appropriate design alternative, taking into consideration the specific objective, research question, and constraint of the project, such as access to data, time, and money. So in research element of research design, there is research strategy. Research strategy will help you to meet your research objective and to answer the research question of your study. The choice for a particular research strategy will therefore depend on the research objective and the type of research question of your study. The next one is experience, usually associated with a hypothetical deductive approach to research. Experimental design are less useful or appropriate for answer exploratory and descriptive research question. Next is survey research. The survey research is very popular in business research because it allows the researcher to collect quantitative and qualitative data on many types of research questions. Indeed, survey are commonly used in exploratory and descriptive research to collect data about people, event, or situation. Next is case studies focus on collecting information about a specific objective, event, or activity, such as a particular business unit or organization. In case study, the case is the individual, the group, the organization, the event, or the situation the researcher is interested in. The characteristic of an informative text. The grounded theory, a systematic set of producer to develop an indicatively different theory for the data. Important tools of grounded theory are theoretical sampling, coding, and constant comparison. The next is action research, sometimes undertaken by the consultant who wants to initiate change process in organization. In other words, action research is a research strategy aimed at affecting plan change. Here, the researcher begin with a problem that is already identified and gather relevant data to provide a tentative problem solution.
So next is the extent of research interference with the studies. The extent of interference by the researcher has a direct bearing on whether the study undertaken is correlational or causal. A correlational study is conducted in a natural environment with minimal interference by the researcher with the normal flow or events. Next slide. And this is the study setting, contrived or non-contrived. Business research can be done in the natural environment where events proceed normally. For example, in non-contrived settings or in artificial, contrived settings, exploratory and descriptive or correlational studies are invariably conducted in non-contrived settings, whereas most causal studies are done in contrived lab settings. Meanwhile, non-conserved settings are called field studies. And this the unit of analysis refers to the level of aggregation of the data collected during the subsequent data analysis stage. If, for instance, the problem statement focuses on how to raise the motivational levels of employees in general, then we are interested in individual employees in the organization and have to find out what we can do to raise their motivation. Next slide. And this is the time horizon, cross-sectional versus longitudinal studies. The first one is the cross-sectional. A study can be undertaken in which data are gathered just once, perhaps over a period of days or weeks or months, in order to answer a research question. And the next one is the longitudinal studies. The researcher might want to study people or phenomena at more than one point in time in order to answer the research question. For instance, the researcher might want to study employees' behavior before and after a change in top management, so as to know what effects the change accomplished.
Okay, so the next one is mixed method. Mixed method research aims to answer research questions that cannot be answered by qualitative or quantitative approach alone. Mixed method research focuses on collecting, analyzing, and mixing both quantitative and qualitative data in a single study or series of studies. A mixed method approach is increasingly advocated within business research. The attractiveness of this approach is that it allows researchers to combine an inductive and deductive thinking. The next one is trade-offs and compromises. The researchers determine the appropriate decision to be made in a study design based on the research perspective of the investigator. The research objective versus question, the extent of rigor, desire, and practical consideration. So sometimes because of the time and cost involved, a researcher might be constrained to settle for less than the ideal research design. So the conclusion says the success of a research plan depends on a few important parts. This includes picking the right method that match your goals and questions, like surveys for collecting different kinds of data, and case studies for studying specific things in detail. It's also about considering factors like how much the researcher gets involved, where the study happens, what's being studied, and if it's done once or over time. By thinking about these things carefully and making smart choices, researchers can create plans that give them trustworthy and useful research for their works. So that's it from our presentation. Thank you so much for paying attention. See you on another opportunity. Thank you.